guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews. Today we are reviewing another of the 2018 Schleich models, and it's one that I just couldn't wait to get on the channel and review. It is their newest Tyrannosaurus Rex, and I don't know, something about this guy. I love this T-Rex. I saw a lot of people on the internet that were kind of complaining a little bit about him because they thought that maybe the head looked a little too big for the body. And even looking at it right here from this position, it kind of appears like his head is, but honestly it's not. It really isn't. It's just that the way the pose is, it kind of makes it appear that his head is too big for his body, because if you look here, the T-Rex has his head leaning in toward the left. So what you're seeing in most of the pictures is that the head is actually closer than the body. So it makes his head appear as though it's just insanely large compared to the rest of the body, when in fact it is actually pretty proportionately well done, in my opinion. I think it looks very good, and I will give you a closer look right now so you can see for yourself. As I said, the head was one of the things that threw me off right away when I saw this model originally. I thought, wow, that head just looks gigantic. I don't know why they would do that. Now I will say his head does kind of look like it might be a little bit big, but it definitely isn't as big as it seems when you look at it in the pictures. As I said, with that crazy pose, with the head being over a little bit, just really makes him look like his head is much bigger than it is. I think it looks pretty good. It might be a little bit big, but it's not anything that's terrible or overly distracting. Now, overall, I really love this T-Rex model. I really do. I am a big fan of Schleich. I always have been, regardless of the inaccuracies in many of their models. And this one continues to be inaccurate as far as Tyrannosaurus goes, but I really think he looks cool. Look at these beautiful eyes. Those eyes are painted so nicely. A very, very bright yellow with a nice dark pupil, and he's looking straight forward. Whenever I look at this view of this T-Rex, I feel like he is just staring a hole straight through me, and I kind of get the feeling that he's a little bit off the wall insane, and maybe just absolutely hates me and wants to eat my face. I don't know, something about this front shot just makes him look so angry and so dangerous. But then if we go over here to the side, he looks like a generally nice guy. The detail all over the face is awesome. There's so much that has gone, as most Schleich models usually have, gone into the sculpt of this. I can't even begin to imagine the amount of time it took to sculpt this thing, because if you look all over the face, there are so many different little scales, and they're mostly all sculpted to different sizes, which is one of the most incredible factors about these models, that to me is just the amount of detail that goes into sculpting out each of the scales, because so many different scales end up being so many different sizes, which really makes the models look so much more alive and real to me, and really pays off as far as the amount of work that goes into the sculpt. It does have an articulated jaw, and the articulated jaw works beautifully. The inside of the mouth is sculpted very nicely. I feel like it's a very realistic color, and one thing that's cool to note is that you can see here on the side of the mouth is this nice like peach pink color, and the tongue is actually more of a reddish color. So they changed the difference in coloration of the tongue to the rest of the mouth, which is very cool because that does happen from time to time with animals. The inside of the mouth has a little bit of a gloss to it, so that helps to bring it realism to life. The teeth are nicely sculpted. They're a little bulky like most Schleich models are, but nothing to complain about. They look pretty good. They're painted in a very, very white color, but you know, it's not the end of the world. Could have been a little bit more realistic of a color as far as the teeth go, but we'll just accept the white and assume that he brushes really well. The eyes have a nice gloss to them, and one thing that's awesome about this T-Rex is that the nose really has a nice gloss to it. They put some gloss there, making it look like it's just absolutely alive. Beautiful addition to this model right there. Again, as you go down the neck, you can see that the sculpt work is just all over the place. Skin folds all over the neck, and the scales are sculpted so beautifully and all over the place. It is just insane. The arms, you can see, are so extremely muscular, and the hands are painted and sculpted out beautifully. Just nothing more than a black color for the claws, but they look very good. Actually, it's more like a black grayish color, so there's a little bit of a change in tone to them, so that definitely helps in my department, as I do love different tones done to the claws. You can see there's some more skin folds here on the side of the body. You can see a little bit of the rib cage as well. Some more skin folds right here. You can see the shoulder area has been carved out nicely. Look at the scale work done here on the leg. Absolutely insane. Very, very nice muscle tone carved and sculpted out into this as well. And then the feet look beautiful also. You can see the hip bones here on the Tyrannosaurus. And then he's got this little bit of armor that runs along the back, which is also beautifully sculpted. The tail is also very nicely done. And beautiful scales all over the place on the tail, the whole way out. Same goes for this leg. Just look at the muscle tone on this leg on this side. Man, this T-Rex, as far as the detail goes, is incredible. The paint job overall is beautifully done. Nice tones and different colors all over the place. It's like a dark green primarily, but it's got almost a black on the top with little hints of yellow here and there, and then just different shades of green all over the place. Just here in the leg, I could see like 2 or 3 different shades of green, along with a little bit of black all over the place. It might be a little harder to pick up on camera, but here in person, I can tell you that it is beautifully painted and beautifully shaded all over the place. All sorts of colors and different shades just mixed in and meshed in all over this model. The entire underside is insanely beautifully sculpted as well, and just as nicely it's painted. And then again, as they always do, Schleich has put a beautiful dark wash over this whole dinosaur just to really bring it to life. That little bit of dark wash just adds so much more realism, in my opinion, to their models. So overall, I love this T-Rex. Again, it's inaccurate, yes, but is it awesome looking? Yes, it truly is. Schleich does an incredible job when it comes to the amount of scale detail that they put into it, into the sculpts of their dinosaurs. It's just insane, and whether you like the look of their figures or not, you have to at least respect the amount of work done into their sculpts. It's just unbelievable, it really is. They always look so good because of that, regardless of how sometimes absolutely off-the-wall crazy their figures can look, like their Carnotaurus of this year or their Allosaurus of last year. Just sometimes they look a little bit crazy, in my opinion. But then sometimes you get really nice looking figures. Like this guy's a little different for a T-Rex. He doesn't really look like he should, but he looks very cool. And as I said, the amount of work done just on the sculpt is awesome. And I feel like he's a very, very cool looking T-Rex. A very good possibility for a toy of somebody that might want to buy one for their child. He is very solid, doesn't really bend. The arms bend a little bit. He doesn't really have any areas that I would say are highly dangerous if you buy him as a toy. But again, just don't let your kids beat the crap out of each other with dinosaur figures and you should be okay. As far as the size goes, he is about 12 inches long and almost 6 inches high, just under 6 inches. So he's a beautiful size. He's a very big T-Rex figure. I really do love the color scheme and the scale work. Just the scale work on these things is just incredible. It just sets this guy right off the charts for me. I love this T-Rex, regardless of his inaccuracies. So I will link you guys in the description as to where you can purchase this guy. And if you want to see some more Schleich figures or just dinosaur figures in general, make sure you stick to this channel and subscribe because I will have plenty more to come. Thanks for watching.